What's up, people? It's Nature Girl 30 here, and I actually did a review last night for Raw, but unfortunately, somehow it just didn't pan out. So, this is my Raw review for June 18th. I am exhausted, so I'm just gonna try to get through this the best way I can. Okay, I honestly thought it was pretty cute that the whole theme of last night's Raw was Blast from the Past, especially when they had Mick Foley there as a temporary GM. Um, I like Mick Foley. I'm kind of tired of Mick Foley being the go-to guy every time things going wrong. I kind of wish that there was something new. But let's face it, do you honestly believe that they're gonna be able to have Stone Cold Steve Austin to be the GM when he's practically done with the wrestling business? Besides, he's actually taping Redneck Island and he's doing a lot of movies and stuff. So let's face it, he's out. So Mick Foley is in. He's the go-to guy, but it was actually kind of cute to have McFoley out there, and John Laurinaitis having his somewhat of a farewell address, and they usually do that every time the GM gets fired, or unless you're Mike Adamle, you're just fired. Period. But honestly, some of the matches really weren't all that bad. I kind of expected to have matches like that after last night, especially when it was CM Punk and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan and Kane. The only eyeball about that match was when AJ dressed up as Harley Quinn with a Kane mask on, skipping around, and Kane becoming distracted. And I don't know. I'm still kind of disappointed that my monster is tainted by the psychotic love of AJ. You know, I love my monsters, and it kind of makes me sad that he's just completely tainted by AJ. But moving on from there. I have to say that finally, it really did make me happy to see Jack Swagger versus Dolph Ziggler. Because I really wanted Dolph Ziggler to break out on his own. I thought he has done that, but it seems to me that he's still sticking around with Vicky, and I don't. I didn't understand that logic at all. He does not need Vicky Guerrero. Jack Swagger really needs Vicky Guerrero, but it seems like that for some reason that somehow Dolph Ziggler wanted the love of Vicky as well as the help of Vicky, and I don't. That didn't make any sense to me. But moving on to other matches I can remember, I actually do like the fact they may possibly start a feud between Epico and Primo and the Primetime Players, aka the Fruit Booty Brothers. And I love that line. I don't know why, but the Primetime Players is a great tag team, and so it's Epico and Primo. It would be great to actually start a feud with those guys, and I actually am kind of happy that they're trying to do something with the tag team division, because as of late they completely forgot about them. They just pretty much did whatever they wanted when it came to the tag team division, and they really did not seem like they cared. So it makes me really happy that they're at least trying to do something with them and possibly try to start a feud. AW, at least he is out there doing something. Before I thought he was a waste of space, but now he's actually trying to do a lot more, being an actual heel manager. He still needs to work on that, but at least he's trying. So I'm not going to completely hate on that. But the one thing that I can definitely say is that there were a few segments on and off during the night. And the biggest segment that's supposed to be talked about was Triple H practically I guess they were practically gonna have Triple H come out tonight, but I thought it was gonna be Brock Lesnar coming out after hearing his music, but it ended up being Paul Heyman. You kind of knew that Triple H was gonna knock him out, but I did like the banter between Paul Heyman and Triple H. I thought it was kind of awesome, the fact that they're kind of evenly matched when it comes to verbally. So I really thought these guys, that was really a great segment for them. But the segment that I thought that started off being a bust, but ended up being something that was quite memorable, was the Cyndi Lauper segment. Now, for those that are my age, you know who Cyndi Lauper is. And for those that actually started watching the WWF around the 80s, the golden era, you know how she contributed to the WWF. At that time, MTV was it was an up and coming channel. They tried to pump it a lot more, and MTV started to become popular. But she was the first celebrity manager to ever step foot on WWF territory, and she really did a great job as a celebrity manager. She did an awesome job, and and she was, especially with she had Lou Albino in her videos. I guess maybe as a tribute to what she did. Honestly, I didn't. You really never anticipated a celebrity knowing anything about wrestling or being that good on the mic. And she was that good. She was a great promoter when it came to her being a manager, and she literally bridged the gap between pop culture and the wrestling world. She was the first celebrity manager there was, and if she is in the Hall of Fame next year, I am all for that because she has done a good job in actually being involved. Like Mike Tyson was the main guy that literally broke way for the Attitude Era. She was the person that broke way for pop culture being involved in the Golden Era. So she was the first of her kind, as well as Mike Tyson being the first of his kind, starting the Attitude Era. So I am all for her being in the Hall of Fame instead of freaking Drew Carey. But anyway, moving on from there. Honestly, the main event of the night was a handicap match between David Otunga, John Laurinaitis, and The Big Show. Now, I have had my doubts about The Big Show truly being a heel, but I have to say that he was definitely a heel last night. And yes, this is actually the next morning because I was far too tired to do a review last night. But anyway, he was definitely a true heel when he just walked out because because it made sense. He really didn't have any reason to defend this guy because Joe Hernandez was fired. He's gonna be gone by the end of the night. So why in the world would I care what happened to you after I have an ironclad contract that lets me do whatever I want? So why should I care about what you do and what you think, and why should I listen to you? So the Big Show was awesome as a heel. It was. He's starting to get better as a heel day in day out, but it's like a a roller coaster kind of right now when it comes to comes to me actually liking him as a heel. But honestly, he was acting like a true heel last night, so I really did like that. Typical WWE fashion with the fact that John Laurinaitis gets his butt handed to him by John Cena. Now, we all know that he was with the dynamic dudes. Why did he fight back? Like, Vince McMahon was never a wrestler. So of course it'd be like, for the greatness of his business for him to get his butt handed to him. But John Laurinaitis was with the dynamic dudes. The guy is a wrestler. He was a wrestler. So why can't he wrestle? It would have been nice if he actually fought back against John Cena instead of getting his butt handed to him. Even though people would love to see that, I would love to actually see John Laurinaitis fight back. But oh well, that's gone. But there were a few other confusing matches to me of the night. One was Santino Marella versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, Alberto Del Rio, okay, sure, he had a concussion. He got taken out for being a concussion from the pay per view. So now he's coming back to fight Alberto Del Rio for no title? And even if there was a title, that's a downgrade for Alberto Del Rio. So why are you putting him in a match with Santino? I don't know. It just didn't really make any sense to me. It was kind of really stupid in my eyes. But anyway, honestly, this was not a bad Raw. I'm probably forgetting a lot more matches, and if I am, please leave in your comment in the comment section below. But anyway, this really wasn't a bad Raw to me. It wasn't a complete failure. It wasn't as huge as it should be after a pay-per-view. Like, after every pay-per-view, you should always have a really epic show. Or not really epic, but a really good one. But I have to say that it wasn't bad. It was a pretty nice show, especially Blast from the Past. It's actually prepared for the 1,000 episode show. So it really didn't really do much for pay-per-view. It's just pretty much pumping for their 1,000 episode. So, it wasn't all that bad. I kind of enjoyed myself, especially the whole Cyndi Lauper segment. It was very touching. So I have to say, not a bad Raw. I get a thumbs up for that. I'm not going to really give it a rating, but I'm just going to say thumbs up. Good job, guys. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace. Later.